So this could be a time, right, for the Warriors to start racking up wins. 3 of their 4 opponents on this trip they're coming up on, they're below 500. But Stephen A., when you look at the Warriors season, are they bound for the playoffs, the play-in, or do you think they're played out this year?
Playoffs. I don't think they're played out. I mean, I don't think they're contender status. But I can see them elevating themselves above the play-in tournament. I think that's a possibility. It's a long shot. I concede that. But when you have a guy that's playing on an MVP level that is a superstar and the greatest shooter in the world as one guy, and then you have the potential of your backcourt mate exploding with his perimeter play, I think if something like that happens, they can beat almost anybody. It would take that. I'm not sure it's going to happen, but that possibility always has to be left out there because we're talking about 4-time champions here.
Play in. Too many teams to jump. Too many teams better than them. Too many. First of all, I mean, to get to the 6th spot, they'd have to have an injury-free, drama-free second half. And by the way, we're at the first half point next week. This is not like, oh, it's early January, you got 60 games. No, you don't. And so the Warriors have to do something we haven't seen them do since they were champions. They're going to have to put together a stretch of basketball. They had many stretches last year. They never got on that roll in a sustained way that we expected. They haven't done that this year. I think play in, that means, you know, they could be in that 7, 8, 9, 10. That gives them some room. Maybe they can upset somebody in the first round. But playoff, Stephen A., they gotta pass some teams I just don't think they're as good as.
No, we're not about to do this. There's no in-between, right? It's either they're competing for a title or they played out, and they're played out. There's no play-in or no them getting into the playoffs. That's not what Draymond Green and Klay Thompson and Steve Kerr and Steph Curry is all about. They're about contending for a title. If they're not doing that, then they're played out. This is why they need to go in the youth direction. This is why they got to start reevaluating what they have right now, not waiting to see if they could win some regular season games, because what is that going to get them? Nowhere. This team is not that good at all to compete in the Western Conference for us getting back to the championship and winning and bringing another championship back to Golden State.
You're right, Perk. They have got to evaluate here who they are and what they could still be this season. But as long as they have Steph Curry in his prime, they owe it to him. It is their responsibility to give him every chance to compete for a championship. A little less than a month now to the trade deadline. And Mike Dunleavy Jr., Joe Lacob, their owner, Dunleavy, their GM, you know, they're going to have some hard decisions to make as we get closer to February 8th. And I think around Andrew Wiggins, you know, 3 years, $86 million on his deal after this season, he needs to play better. You know, when they won a championship 2 years ago, he was perhaps their second best player in the NBA Finals against the Celtics. You've seen better play from Klay Thompson. Draymond Green has played well when he's played. But I think Andrew Wiggins, these next few weeks are really important for his future in Golden State.
It's amazing because, I mean, Andrew Wiggins is definitely a very, very unique player. He's one of the rare people we've ever seen took the money and took a nap. This is what he does. Took the money and took a nap. This is what he does. So many times. Last year, we all know he had some personal issues, and God bless him and his family and what have you. But in the same breath, you know, you missed so much time last year, okay? And there was he was devoid of that absence of urgency. We come back this season. You had the whole off season. You come back this season from start to finish. He's pretty much been, you know, at times comatose in my mind. He's just out there, and he looked like a damn zombie for crying out loud. It's embarrassing considering his skill set, how anemic of a performer he has been on entirely.
So, Stephen A., if you're going to make a trade then, let's go to this for a second. We're talking about trading and figuring out their own identity. Do you trade Perk for younger pieces that can get you back into contention you hope next season, or do you try to find somebody, a veteran player who can give you some dynamic of what Wiggins gave you season before last? Do you go for something now to help in the regard of Steph Curry and justifying Steph Curry's existence?
I mean, it's just so hard because you got the chef apron, the first apron, the second apron, and all these rules that are in place. You don't know what you could do. This is, and I'm just being honest, Steph Curry needs to evaluate the situation and see what he want to do. See what Steph want to do. because sometimes it's okay.
He's not going to want to leave.
No, but he's going to have to sign off, right, Woj, on whatever plan Golden State.
Steph Curry doesn't ask for much in Golden State. He's not a superstar. He's not a superstar who goes around and says, bring me this guy, get me that guy. He doesn't do that. What he does do is he has believed in that core group, and he's wanted to keep that core group together. Remember, Chris Paul, probably about a month out now, coming off that surgery.
All I'm going to tell you is this. You got to do whatever you can to appease Steph Curry. You know why? Because why should I trust Steve Kerr with young talent when I'm still waiting for Kuminga and Moody to really elevate to the point where you know you can rely on that young talent?
Right.
I know what a great coach Steve Kerr is with veterans.
We need to watch that great
veterans.
I wanna try to boast at what I look like. How they wear, I pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA on the ESPN.